Have you ever stepped into a room and felt the atmosphere shift before you even said a word? A stranger glances your way, and suddenly, a smile spreads across their face. Maybe it's a quiet cafe, a workplace meeting, or even a crowded train. You weren't telling a joke, you weren't trying to draw attention, yet people seem lighter, almost relieved, just by your presence. It feels strange, doesn't it? You might find yourself asking, why me? What did I do to deserve that reaction? The truth is, you didn't do anything. You simply are. What if I told you that these moments are not accidents? They're not coincidences, nor are they simply people being polite. They're signs. Signs that something about you, something beyond your appearance, your words, or your behavior, is reaching people in a way they can't explain. Think about it. In a world where most people rush through life with their heads down, lost in thought or weighed by worry, your presence interrupts the pattern. You don't just enter a room, you change it. And those smiles? They're subtle acknowledgments of the invisible energy you carry, an energy that whispers to others, "You're safe here. You can breathe here." This is where the journey begins. Because if you've ever noticed this mysterious ripple effect, you need to know. It's not random. It's a reflection of who you are at your core. You carry a frequency, a light that makes people respond before they even realize it. And that, my friend, is the first glimpse of something far bigger, a calling. Now, before we go deeper, pause for a second. Ask yourself, have I ever experienced this? Have I ever seen a smile I couldn't explain? If the answer is yes, then you're exactly where you need to be. And if you're feeling a spark in your spirit right now, maybe that's your confirmation. So, lean in. Because what we're about to uncover isn't just about why people smile at you. It's about understanding the hidden forces at work, the unspoken role you've been given, and the extraordinary path that lies ahead. There's a word often used in stories, movies, and myths: the chosen one. At first glance, it sounds grand, almost exaggerated, like a character in a fantasy tale destined to save the world. But here's the truth. In real life, the idea of being chosen is far more subtle, far more human, and yet just as powerful. Being a chosen one doesn't mean you are better than others. It doesn't mean you live without flaws, struggles, or mistakes. Instead, it means you carry something different, a spark that separates you from the ordinary flow of life. You've probably felt it yourself, that quiet sense that you don't quite blend in. You can sit in a crowd and still feel set apart, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that whispers, your path is not the same as theirs. This difference is not always easy. Growing up, maybe you felt misunderstood, like people couldn't quite get you. You might have been too sensitive, too thoughtful, too intense for the world around you. Others may have mistaken your depth for strangeness, or your solitude for weakness. But here's what most people never realized. Those qualities weren't defects. They were markers. Signs of a higher calling shaping you from the start. When you walk into a room and people smile without knowing why, they're responding to that difference. They may not have the language to explain it, but they can feel it. It's not about your hairstyle, your clothes, or the way you speak. It's about the invisible presence you bring, an energy that tells the world, something is different here. Something feels safe, uplifting, and real. And let's be honest, being different can feel like both a blessing and a burden. There are days when you might wish you could just fade into the background, live unnoticed, without carrying the weight of being set apart. Yet the more you try to hide, the more life reminds you. You weren't meant to be hidden. The very energy that makes people smile is also the energy that refuses to let you disappear. Here's the key. Your difference comes with a purpose. It's not random. It's not an accident. That subtle, almost unexplainable pull others feel around you, that's the universe's way of confirming what you've always suspected deep down. You were placed here for more. And once you begin to recognize this truth, everything starts to change. The way you view yourself, the way you view others, and the way you understand the quiet influence you already carry. So, if you've ever wondered why you feel out of step with the world, why strangers seem to gravitate toward you, or why your presence shifts the atmosphere, it's time to stop dismissing it. It's time to embrace it. Because this difference isn't a burden. It's the first chapter of your calling. So far, we've spoken about mystery, about presence, about that unexplainable pull others feel when you walk into a room. But let's step back for a moment. What if I told you this isn't only a spiritual concept, it's also grounded in science? Every human being carries an invisible field of energy. Some call it an aura, others call it vibration. No matter the name, the principle is the same. Your thoughts, emotions, and inner state radiate outward like ripples on water. You may not see it, but others pick it up instinctively. Think of it this way. Have you ever walked into a room where someone had just argued? No one tells you what happened, but you feel the heaviness, the tension in the air. Or on the flip side, maybe you've entered a space filled with laughter, and suddenly you feel lighter, happier, without even knowing why. That's energy at work. For chosen ones, this effect is amplified. Why? Because your inner state resonates on a higher frequency, calmer, lighter, more aligned, and people around you respond to it automatically. In neuroscience, there's a concept called mirror neurons. These are special brain cells that allow us to imitate and reflect the emotions of those we encounter. When you smile, others smile back. When you radiate peace, their bodies mirror that calm without conscious effort. That explains why strangers sometimes smile at you for no reason. They're not responding to your face or your clothes. They're responding to the calm signal your nervous system is broadcasting. It's science catching up with what spirituality has always known. Energy speaks louder than words. Here's another way to picture it. Your body is like a tuning fork. When struck, it vibrates at a specific frequency. If another fork nearby shares the same note, it begins to vibrate too, without being touched. That's resonance. As a chosen one, your energy acts like that tuning fork, setting off quiet vibrations in others. They don't even know why they feel lighter around you. They just do. And this isn't just about emotions. Studies have shown that our heartbeats and brain waves can synchronize with those we spend time with. When you walk into a room carrying peace, your heartbeat sends subtle signals that encourage others to slow down, breathe deeper, and relax. That's not magic. That's biology. But here's the catch. While science can explain the mechanics, it can't fully explain why you. Why some people carry this resonance so strongly that it shifts an entire atmosphere. That's where the spiritual side completes the story. Because yes, your aura has a measurable effect. Yes, mirror neurons play their part. But the depth of the peace you bring, the healing spark you ignite, That goes beyond neurons and biology. That's where science ends and the sacred begins. Science helps us understand the mechanics of energy, the mirror neurons, the vibrations, the synchronization of heartbeats. But there is something deeper at play, something science can measure but not fully explain. That something is the spiritual dimension of your presence. Picture this. In a dark forest, even the faintest candle becomes a guide. People are drawn to it, not because the candle calls out or demands attention, but simply because it shines. That's what your energy is like. You don't need to force it. You don't need to prove it. Your very existence becomes a light in spaces that feel heavy, cold, or confused. This is the essence of the chosen one. You carry a divine spark, an invisible flame that radiates through your presence. People may not be able to name it, but they sense it. They feel calmer, safer, even inspired when you're around. And this light is not just about making others feel good. It's about awakening something inside them. When someone smiles at you unexpectedly, what they're really responding to is recognition. On a subconscious level, they recognize the light within you because it mirrors the light hidden within themselves. For a brief moment, your energy reminds them of their own spiritual essence, the part of them they may have forgotten or neglected. This is why your presence feels magnetic. Not because you're perfect, not because you've mastered every detail of life, but because your energy resonates with truth. And truth, when encountered, always pulls people closer. But here's the beautiful paradox. You don't always see your own light. Many chosen ones go through seasons of doubt, wondering why they feel so different, why they can't blend in, why people react to them in ways that are both uplifting and, at times, challenging. What you must remember is this: light rarely recognizes itself. It simply shines. Think about it. The sun doesn't question why flowers turn toward it. The stars don't wonder why travelers use them to navigate. They simply exist in alignment with their nature. And because of that, life responds. In the same way, your role isn't to understand every smile, every moment of peace you bring. Your role is to keep shining, to stay aligned, and to trust that your energy is serving a higher purpose. The invisible light you carry is not for decoration. It's for transformation. It has the power to comfort, to heal, to awaken. Some will be drawn to it instantly. Others may resist it because it forces them to confront truths they're not ready for. But whether welcomed or resisted, your light makes an impact. So the next time you notice that mysterious smile, remember, it's not random. It's recognition. It's the universe confirming that the divine spark within you is alive, visible, and touching the world around you, even when you don't realize it. We often think of charisma as a talent reserved for celebrities, speakers, or leaders, the kind of people who command attention the moment they step on stage. But true charisma is far less about performance and far more about essence. For a chosen one, charisma is not something you practice. It's not about clever words, polished appearances, or rehearsed gestures. It is, instead, a divine gift that flows effortlessly from who you are. When you walk into a room, people may look up without knowing why. It isn't because you've done anything extraordinary. It's because your energy speaks louder than your presence. Your charisma is woven into the way you exist. It's in your calmness, your authenticity, the quiet confidence that comes from being aligned with your higher self. This is why you can't fake true charisma. Many people try. They study body language, memorize scripts, and copy the habits of those they admire. And yes, they may succeed for a moment. But borrowed charisma always fades. It lacks depth. It doesn't reach the soul. The charisma of a chosen one, however, is rooted in authenticity. It radiates naturally because it is not a mask. It is the truth of who you are. Think of it like fragrance. A flower doesn't strain to release its scent. It simply blooms, and the aroma flows. Your charisma works the same way. You don't have to push, persuade, or manipulate. People sense it. They lean in. They feel lighter. Sometimes, they even find themselves telling you things they've never told anyone else. Why? Because your presence feels safe. But here's something important. Charisma is not given for your benefit alone. It is not meant to inflate your ego or set you above others. It is meant for service. Your energy draws people in so you can lift them higher, remind them of their own worth, or simply give them a glimpse of peace in a restless world. Of course, this gift comes with responsibility. Charisma, when used selfishly, becomes manipulation, but when used with humility, it becomes healing. The chosen one influences not by control, but by resonance. You shift people not by force, but by example. And you may not always notice the effect you have. A simple smile you return, a word you speak without much thought, or even just the way you carry yourself. These moments ripple far beyond what you see. To others, they become memories, inspirations, or even turning points. So remember this. Your charisma is not a trick to master. It's not a spotlight to stand under. It is a current of divine energy flowing through you. All you need to do is remain authentic, stay grounded, and let it shine. The rest happens on its own. Charisma is a gift, but every gift has its shadow. As a chosen one, your energy has the power to uplift, heal, and inspire, but it can also unsettle. Not everyone who encounters your presence will smile. Some will turn away. Others may avoid you. A few may even push against you with resistance you don't understand. Why does this happen? Because light reveals. And when light shines, it doesn't only illuminate beauty, it exposes shadows. For some people, being around you feels like standing in front of a mirror they didn't ask for. Your peace may highlight their restlessness. Your authenticity may challenge their masks. Your joy may remind them of wounds they haven't healed. It's important to realize this isn't personal. Their discomfort is not a reflection of your failure. It's a reflection of their own journey. You didn't cause their pain. Your presence simply stirred it up. Think of a pond that looks calm on the surface but hides years of settled mud at the bottom. The moment something disturbs the water, the mud rises. It looks messy, but it's part of the process of cleansing. Some people may respond with withdrawal, keeping their distance from you. Others may try to criticize you, gossip, or belittle your energy in an attempt to protect themselves. And in rare cases, you may encounter people who try to drain your light, attaching themselves to you because they feel the peace you carry, but haven't yet found it within themselves. These experiences can be painful if you're not prepared. You might ask, what did I do wrong? Why do they treat me this way when I've done nothing but be myself? The answer is, you didn't do anything wrong. In fact, their reaction is proof of the power you carry. Light always disrupts darkness, not by intention, but by nature. Here's the truth you need to hold on to. Your role is not to fix everyone, and it is not to make everyone comfortable. Your role is to shine. and shining will inevitably cause mixed reactions. Some will smile and feel healed. Some will resist and feel exposed. Both are natural. Both are necessary. But this doesn't mean you let your guard down completely. Part of carrying light is learning to protect it. You must set boundaries: spiritual, emotional, and even physical. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not everyone is ready to walk beside you, and that's okay. At the same time, don't let resistance harden your heart. Those who resist you today may one day look back and realize you were the spark that started their awakening. Until then, your responsibility is simple. Stay aligned, stay authentic, and don't dim your light just to make others feel safe in their shadows. Because the truth is, even when your presence makes someone uncomfortable, your light is still working. And in time, discomfort often becomes the doorway to transformation. In a noisy world, influence is often measured by volume, by who speaks the loudest, who gathers the largest following, who takes the biggest stage. But the chosen one plays by a different rulebook. Your role is not about volume, it's about presence. You don't need a spotlight to shape lives. Sometimes, the most powerful influence happens in silence. Think about the people who have left lasting impressions on you. Was it always the ones giving speeches or posting endless words online? Or was it sometimes the quiet person whose calmness gave you strength? The friend whose listening ear reminded you that you mattered? The stranger whose smile shifted your entire day? Influence isn't always loud. Often it's invisible. As a chosen one, this is your role: to carry light into spaces that need it, not by force, but by embodiment. You are a living example of alignment. Your authenticity teaches more than your arguments ever could. Without even trying, you remind others of what is possible: a life lived with clarity, peace, and purpose. This role can feel lonely at times. While others chase recognition, you may walk a quieter path. While society pushes people to fit into molds, you may find yourself called to break them. And yes, this can feel isolating. But remember, pioneers rarely feel comfortable. Trailblazers often feel misunderstood. That doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're leading. Your presence becomes a mirror. People who cross paths with you may not remember your name or your exact words, but they will remember how they felt in your company. They'll remember the peace that surprised them, the hope that stirred, the spark that lit something inside. This is your quiet role: to awaken people to their own light, sometimes without them even realizing it was you who triggered it. And don't underestimate the ripple effect. One smile you give can soften someone's day, and that softened heart may go on to treat another person with kindness, who then passes it forward. You may never see the end of the chain, but the impact is real. Your energy travels farther than your eyes can see. It's also important to know this: being a chosen one doesn't mean you're here to carry the whole world on your shoulders. You are not responsible for saving everyone. Your role is to embody your truth, to walk your path, and to let your presence do its work naturally. The universe takes care of the rest. So when you doubt your significance, remember, every room you enter shifts. Every smile you inspire is evidence. You are more influential than you realize, not because of what you do loudly, but because of what you embody quietly. That is the sacred role of a chosen one: to inspire without forcing, to guide without controlling, to lead simply by being. Carrying light is both a gift and a responsibility. And like any powerful gift, it requires care. If you're a chosen one, your energy is precious. It lifts people, heals people, and inspires people. But if you're not careful, it can also be drained, overextended, or taken for granted. Protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's essential. Because you cannot pour into others if your own cup is empty. So how do you protect this unseen gift? The first step is self-awareness. Pay attention to how your body and spirit respond in different environments. When you walk into a room, notice. Do you feel lighter or heavier? Energized or drained? Your energy is a compass, quietly telling you where you are safe to shine and where you need boundaries. Second, build daily practices that ground you. This doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as 5 minutes of deep breathing each morning, setting your intention for the day. Some find strength in prayer, others in meditation, journaling, or walking in nature. What matters isn't the method, it's consistency. These practices recharge your inner battery so you can continue radiating light without burning out. Visualization is another powerful tool. Before entering spaces that feel heavy, picture yourself surrounded by a shield of light. Imagine that only what is good and aligned can enter your field, while negativity bounces away. This isn't about shutting people out. It's about preserving your peace. Remember, boundaries are not walls. They are doors that you control. Equally important is learning the sacred art of saying no. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your energy. Some people may want more than they are ready to receive, or they may try to take without giving. It's okay to step back. Protecting your energy doesn't mean abandoning compassion. It means honoring your limits so that you can give authentically when it truly matters. And here's something crucial. Your role is not to fix everyone. You are not responsible for carrying the weight of every broken heart or guiding every wandering soul. Sometimes your presence plants a seed, and that is enough. Sometimes your silence speaks louder than your advice. Trust the process. The universe knows how to finish the work you've started. Finally, remember to rest. Light needs fuel. Even the sun sets each night, not because it's weak, but because cycles are sacred. Rest allows you to recharge so you can rise again brighter. Give yourself permission to pause, to step back, to nourish your own spirit. Protecting your energy doesn't make you less of a chosen one. It ensures that you remain strong enough to fulfill your calling. And when you honor your boundaries, your light doesn't just survive. It shines clearer, steadier, and longer. As we reach the end of this journey, pause for a moment. Think back to those mysterious smiles, those moments when strangers softened in your presence, those times when you felt both different and set apart. None of it was random. None of it was meaningless. Those moments were signs. Gentle reminders that you are carrying something extraordinary. You, chosen one, are not here by accident. You were born with a spark that the world cannot ignore, even if you sometimes wish it could. That spark is why people gravitate toward you, why atmospheres shift when you enter a room, why your presence lingers long after you've left. This is not a coincidence. This is your calling. But let me be clear. Your worth is not measured by applause, by recognition, or by how many people understand you. Your worth is rooted in authenticity, in your willingness to be who you truly are, in your courage to walk a path that may feel lonely at times, but is deeply aligned with your higher purpose. You don't need to force your light. You don't need to chase acceptance. The sun doesn't beg the world to notice its warmth. The stars don't ask for applause as they shine in the night. They simply exist in alignment with their nature. And because they shine, the world is guided, comforted, and inspired. The same is true for you. Yes, you will face resistance. Yes, you will encounter people who misunderstand you, who feel threatened by the light you carry. But never forget, resistance is proof of your impact. Shadows only exist where light is present. The discomfort others feel is not your failure, but their awakening in progress. So embrace your role with confidence, not hesitation. Protect your energy, guard your peace, and most of all, trust the calling written within you. You are not here to blend in. You are here to stand out, not in arrogance, but in service, not to control, but to inspire, not to take, but to give. Every smile you receive is confirmation. Every ripple you create is evidence. Your life is a living message, reminding others of their own divine essence. And even if you never see the full extent of your influence, know this: the world is brighter because you are in it. So stand tall, chosen one. Step into your purpose with humility and strength. Let your light shine, not just for yourself, but for the countless lives you are destined to touch. The journey ahead may not always be easy, but it will always be meaningful. Because you were chosen, not by accident, not by chance, but by design. And the world is waiting for you to shine.